Hi fam, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Today on this channel, I'm going to be showing you how I made this pretty 3-tier square cake from the trimming to the covering to the stacking, everything about it. So hang on while we get started on this one. I'm starting up with sandwiching of the cake, and that's buttercream I'm putting in between the cake to stick them together. I check all the sides of the cake to make sure that they are properly layered and leveled to some point. Of course, we're still going to level up properly with the trimming. I started by trimming off the sides of the cake. Please beware of your edges, when you're trimming your square cakes. Your edges are very, very important. I'm trimming on all sides. So I'm putting some chunk of cakes at the edges as well, because I don't want to trim it down too low. So I want it to level up with the other sides. That's why I put that in there. And then I continue with the trimming. That's the middle tier of the cake, by the way. Like you already know, it's a 3-tier cake we're working on. This is the base of the cake, already pre-trimmed, so I'm trimming it properly now. As you can see, I'm sure you can see the difference from when it was passed to me and now. So you go on all sides, check your cakes from all angles to be sure that it is straight and perfectly trimmed. And don't forget to make sure that the top is well balanced. That's the third tip of the cake. Already pre-trimmed too, so I'm perfecting the trimming. Go over your trimming over and over and over again until you will get the desired result. And of course, as you can see, make sure you're trimming in bits. Make sure you're trimming in bits so that you don't end up cutting out all of your cakes. So we're moving into covering of the cake now, and of course we're using fondant, and that's what we already made our fondant. We have worked it properly, and now we're rolling it, and we are covering in paneling method. We are using a paneling method to cover the cake. So we are going to cut down all the fondants we need so that they dry at least a bit before we attach them to the cake. Then of course you have to measure all sides of your cake. Now this is me covering one of the top of the cake, one of the cakes. After measure the top of your cake, measure the sides and all that, and then you add like 1 inch more. You add like 1 inch more to it. so that you can have that excess to cut out like that. And I'm cutting with a small knife. You can use a craft knife if you have one, but just make sure you're using a knife with a slim blade. Then you work on the sides of the cake to make sure the fondant is leveled with the cake still. That's the top of another cake. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the like button, comment, and share this video with your loved ones. Tell your friends to tell a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about this YouTube channel. It's a cake and lifestyle channel, of course, where I'll be showing you different cake tutorials and, of course, lifestyle. I'm smoothing the edges with my cake smoother. I'm rolling more fondant for still the covering of the cake. Please, it is very important for you to measure. It is very important for you to measure. Now, these are fondant for the sides of the cake that we already cut down, measured. So you measure the side of the cake from one point to the other, and then you leave extra. Like I said, you can leave about 1 inch extra for you to have space to cut out your excess and give you the sharpness you need. I mean, like the sharp edge. Then these fondants, of course, when you cut them down, please let them dry, like for a few minutes, about 15 minutes thereabout, depending on the texture of the fondant you are using. And of course, make sure you're using a firm fondant, please, for this purpose. Make sure you're using a firm fondant for best results. And that's me cutting out the excess of the fondant. I placed my smoother against behind the fondant, so I'm cutting against the smoother. For the covering, we're covering two opposite side first, like you can see, and then we'll cover the other two opposite side as well. That's buttercream, by the way. And that's water. That's water I'm putting on the fondant part. So be careful when you're applying your buttercream so it doesn't touch the fondant parts. You're using water to stick the fondant part, so you don't need buttercream on it at all. That's it. We have the four sides of this particular one covered. So I'm repeating the same process to cut out the excess, and you can see immediately how sharp the edges are. So you put aside and let it dry. You don't cut out the top immediately. We leave that and let it dry more again. So we're moving to the bodywork of the cake. This is me cutting out the um patterns on the cake freehand. Yes, like you can see, It was cut out freehand, and that one freehand one was used to cut out multiple other ones. This is the bigger body work of the cake, also cut out freehand, and the one will be used to cut out multiple ones. So we have all the body works cut out. We leave them as well to dry a bit before we start attaching to the cake. That's how you use the already pre-cut ones to cut out multiple ones so that they are the same size you want them to be. Now we have left this for a while, of course, so it's dry. You can see how I'm cutting it out smoothly, and it's pretty sharp. That's because I've left it to dry. And of course, don't forget that the fondant has to be firm enough before you even use it. So that's me cutting out all the edges of the top of the cake. And also please note that your knife has to be very clean. When you cut out one part, you have to remove your knife, clean it, start continue and all that. So this part I'm doing here is very optional. You can leave your cake like that once you are done cutting out the top nicely and neatly. But a lot of times I like to always still go extra and roll out a very slim fondant, very slim fondant, paper thin. I mean, very slim fondant. Apply some water at the top of the cake and spread it all over, just like another covering on top, but it's very light. And then I cut it out neatly, so there's no sign, no join, nothing on my cake except for just the neat ones on the sides. And that's the body work of the cake. That's a manual pump I use to a manual pump I used with a gold dust and edible spirit mix to dust the cake because I want the base to be a gold color, and that's the body work already been attached to the cake with water, of course. So just arrange this nicely, like really nicely, like you want it to be. Then we're moving to the stacking already. That's the word inside the cake. My bad, I'm definitely going to make a proper video on stacking of cakes, but just watch through this so when that comes you would understand. I'm sure, of course, if you know how to stack your cake already, then this won't be a problem at all. So that's royal hyacinth I'm putting on top of the dowel rods to stick the next tier coming on top. And please note that this next tier coming on top already has a flat board underneath, and that is why it can stand on the cake. If not, it's just going to sink in. It has a flat board underneath. I'll make a proper video, of course, showing you all that, so in subsequent videos, showing you the stacking, the proper stack. That will be like a stacking video only, so don't worry. And that's the third tier coming on top of the cake as well. Voila, my cake is standing already. So I'm just going to finish up with little other body work. That's a ribbon I'm putting on the cake, attaching with royal icing. I'm going again because I want the ribbon to feel thicker. That other one is tiny, so I want it to be bolder on the cake. And I'm going to repeat the same on the top tier. Okay, that's an edible image that I'm using. I mean the client sent in this logo, so and then want it on the cake, so I printed this edible image. It's edible, you can eat it. it's not a paper print, and I'm removing it carefully because edible image are more complicated to use. Not complicated like that, but if you don't remove them properly, of course you might end up ruining them. So I removed it properly with pizza cutter and sticking to the cake. Yeah, cake is ready, standing. I'm sure you like it, just like I do. That's a happy birthday topper, of course, that I already pre-ordered as well. And that's our cake, standing tall and pretty. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, comment below. Yes, if you have any question, please feel free to leave it in the comment below. And please don't forget that this is a cake tutorial and lifestyle channel, so we'll be sharing a whole lot. Please hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have enjoyed this video. If you have any question on this cake, yes, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below and I'll respond to them. Thank you for watching. Bye.